This is a Dragon Blazer production.
Coming soon to a podcast near you.
Introduction. City Hunter is my nickname. Fighting crime's the game. My sidekick comes along also, but I'm much better at kung fu and much cuter.
He's cute. Who's the guy?
He's City Hunter.
Oh, a private eye.
Yeah, he's a real dick.
Who are these women?
Them? They're crazy women trying to kill me.
You've got the gun.
Huh?
I am Mr. Imamura. My daughter, Kyoko, she's an only child and is a bit rebellious. Kyoko ran away.
And you'd like us to get her back for you?
He's extremely gentle with the pretty one. Incredible.
Him, I mean.
Yeah, I knew that.
The only thing we want is your money. If you cooperate, we won't have to kill you. Well, now, time for a little game.
You pig!
Come on. Hey, you were real good.
You too.
All right, welcome to a new episode of Coming Soon to a Podcast Near You. I'm Stevie Blaze, and this is my co-host, Xavier.
Hello.
And we have a special guest that you cannot see on the video, but he is also here. I have my friend, Sandy.
Hello.
There's Sandy. You'll hear this disembodied voice. That is Sandy. Well, so on this episode, we got, with our little magical Siri, martial arts movies. And we had Sandy. Now, my friend Sandy is a huge martial arts fan. So what's he do? He picks City Hunter. And if you've seen this movie like we just did, this movie's damn ridiculous. It works like one of those really cheesy comedy animes.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Just saying it right there. No, it doesn't.
This movie was the equivalent of Master Roshi getting nosebleeds because he sees naked women all the time. That's what this movie was. It's a lot of that. Tell me I'm wrong. Let's start this off. This intro, let's just get right into City Hunter. The intro's insane. Well, first we get to see some comic book shots of City Hunter. I'm guessing is the anime or the comic book that this is based on, or the manga. And then we get an intro where he talks about how he has a partner and they were doing great, and then his partner goes off on a mission by himself, and then he cheesily gets shot up with Tommy guns, and then keeps, while dying, stopping to talk to City Hunter. First off, it's a little jarring because this movie's entirely dubbed. So it was originally in Chinese, I'm guessing, right?
Korean.
Chinese?
It's a Korean drama.
Is it Korean?
It's a Korean drama.
My mistake. Well, it's dubbed, and they didn't use Jackie Chan's voice for Jackie Chan. So that was jarring because I've seen quite a few Jackie Chan movies, and I know what Jackie Chan sounds like. And it's not this.
And it wasn't just Jackie Chan, it was other actors as well, like the main villain martial artist.
Well,
not his voice.
Right. Well, the difference is I don't know their voices.
Yeah.
The only person I knew in this movie is Jackie Chan. I did have to put in my I had to put in my notes. After he gets shot, Jackie Chan just says, "You're shot!
You're shot!
You're shot!" Not no. It's just, you're shot. And so Hunter's partner dies. His name is City Hunter. He doesn't have a name. He's just called City Hunter. And he dies.
I'll call him. I think we should call him Carl.
Carl? No, yes. He's Hunter. So Hunter's partner's dying, and his dying wish is for him to take care of his daughter. Was it his daughter or his niece?
I thought it was his niece, actually. Because that was one of the things I was thinking was kind of weird. He's like, don't let anything happen to my niece.
Yes. And the other request he has is, do not seduce my niece.
Promise to never, ever go there.
Yeah, don't seduce. I think there was some loss in translation. I'm assuming they meant something other than seduce, because it's kind of weird to say, don't seduce my niece. And then
I'm sure he'll understand.
She was probably like 10 years old.
Yeah, she was 10 years old at the time. And the more weird thing is he says in a monologue, what I didn't realize is kids grow up fast. And she grows up, and he's like, oh man, why did I promise not to seduce her?
All in the span of him going down a set of stairs.
I think what they wanted to say was like, date her. Don't date my niece. But they say seduce, which makes him sound like a major creep.
I mean, date isn't that much different. It's just a bit more of a laid-back version, but they're
seduction
just the same?
More of like you're trying to
non-consent without consent.
It doesn't necessarily mean non-consent. It's more like, it seems like more of a dirty act, and not just dating someone or wanting to be with someone. But I think that's a translation issue. From Korean to English.
I'm all for it.
That happens, huh?
I said I'm all for it.
You're all for seducing?
No, not for seducing minors. No, it's like don't ever seduce minors.
That's she grows up. It's okay. She grows up. Yeah, it's just weird
okay, but the fact
he raises her. But, you know.
But the fact that she looks like an 18-year-old doesn't really help. I don't really know, like, how old you are to be an adult in other countries, but she still looks way too young.
Probably younger, actually.
Yeah.
In
other countries, she's like 15 and 16. It's weird.
Yeah. So Hunter is tasked with finding a rich man's daughter, and then he finds her pretty quickly at a skate park. She runs away on skateboards, and she seduces. Now, this is a seduction. She tries to seduce the man and tricks him into coming into the where she's changing, and beats the crap out of him and takes his clothes to get away as a disguise. And then after that,
to be fair, the guy was basically horning over her. So
he was creepy. Let's face it.
He was creepy.
But yeah, still,
I don't see how this was a big brain maneuver. Like she was like I don't know. It was probably a big brain maneuver.
Well,
but anyway, Marty flies out of there.
A bunch of girls gives him a birthday cake, and then ties him up, and then tells him that they are the girlfriends of a bunch of people he put to jail. So they're trying to beat the shit out of him. And then what do we call her?
I would call her his assistant.
Sure, assistant. His assistant comes by, and through this whole movie, his assistant is jealous as hell. Like, City Hunter is straight up a womanizer. They even say that. It's on his card that he's a womanizer. But this little girl that he raised wants him bad. And she sees him with a bunch of girls and gets pissed off, despite the fact that he's tied up, and he's pointing a gun at them. And once he
could be into some kinky stuff. You don't know.
Well, the kinky stuff is afterwards. They say they're going to beat his ass, and they get into some martial arts poses, and he breaks through the rope and then beats the shit out of him. And for some reason, clothes just start coming off while he's beating the shit out of these women. This was a weird ass movie, man.
Haven't you ever played fighting games, man? The clothes fly off just all the time, man.
I don't recall that when I play Street Fighter. Not at all. Speaking of, that will be later.
Oh, yeah.
I can sympathize beating someone up for food. I can sympathize for that. Then there's a point where he looks at a woman's boobs and they turn into burgers.
Oh yeah. This guy's hungry the entire movie.
For the whole damn movie. He just wants foods, and he sees the woman's boobs and sees burgers, and then her arms as wings and her legs as thighs. Just really hungry.
I gotta address the chicken thighs though. I love chicken thighs, but
I do too, but not when I'm eating a person.
Yeah, it's kind of cannibalism, but when you're hungry, I guess.
No.
when you're hungry, I guess.
Then we get a combination of K-pop and Beastie Boys music video out of nowhere. Just this weird ass music video that just
watch it.
It's so insane.
I mean, I'm no one to judge.
Huh?
I'm no one to judge here. I don't know the norm.
Then Hunter gets in a fight with two giant dudes, and City Hunter uses Bruce Lee's Game of Death, which is on the giant screen, to beat them. He gets ideas from Bruce Lee. A lot of nut shots are involved. After that, we get a scene of them playing what looked like high-low.
Yeah.
It's like just, I've got the higher cards. And
I have the high ground.
We get a guy who reminds me a lot of Gambit because he just tosses cards at people.
Reminded me of Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter, which is an anime. So
yeah, I don't know that one.
I have the first volume.
Here in my notes, I put so much women abuse. Just so many women getting.
I see this as a quality. I mean, everybody gets beaten up.
I know the scene because this woman tries to seduce this guy, and she comes up to him trying to be all sexy, and then he just beats the shit out of her. I mean, just like knee, elbow.
But they basically there's like 4 women in this scene because they're running away from terrorists on the ship. And 3 of them are somewhat martial artists. But then the one pretty one who doesn't know any martial arts goes up to seduce the guy, and he ends up beating the hell out of her.
And then it turns out the guy is gay. Because the other guy tries to get behind him, and he's like, ooh, hey. So,
that was also kind of like an oh crap moment because like it looks like he was genuinely about to like assault that guy. Like
no, he wanted to do other things to that man's ass compared to what he did to the woman.
I'm being subtle here, man. I'm being subtle here when I say assault.
Hunter tries to save Carrie from being sexually assaulted, and then gets captured by the villain. So that happens. Is it Kyoka?
Something like that. It's hard to pronounce.
Tries to save Hunter.
Kyoka?
Kyoka, yeah. And this is what I put in my notes. This entire movie is all worth it for the insane Street Fighter sequence. So City Hunter gets electrocuted by one of the arcade games? Was it an arcade game or just like a...
So the villain throws him. They end up in the arcade, and the villain throws him over the railing, and he crashes into it. And the electricity is what transforms everything.
Yeah. And then he sees like all these... He sees the 2 rappers as Dulcim and what was the other guy?
Wasn't it?
Was it Guile? I think he was Guile.
Yeah, he was Guile.
And then what was
Originally,
one was Ken, and then
the bad guy was Ken. Originally, Jackie Chan was the sumo guy.
Oh yeah, P Honda, P Honda, and
Piston
then
Honda.
For some odd reason, I thought there's a bunch of martial artist women in this game or this movie, and I thought for sure one of them was going to show up as Chun-Li. But no, you know who we got as Chun-Li? We got Jackie Chan dressed as Chun-Li. Now, I read on IMDb that this is one of Jackie Chan's least favorite movies, and I'm wondering if it's because he had to dress up like Chun-Li.
It's such a good job, though.
It's so insane. The next thing I have in my notes is, wait, the guy trying to bang Kara is her cousin?
Oh, God, yeah, that had to be a lost in translation.
Because they said something about him being her cousin, and I'm like, wait a minute, this dude's been trying to bang her this entire movie.
Yeah, so she's always trying to get City Hunter's attention and affection.
And she was using him as a...
She gets mad at City Hunter for the whole birthday scene, so she ends up going on the ship and has, like, this really nerdy guy who's definitely, like, the friend zone guy. And he's trying to get with her the whole movie. And then right towards the end, they mention something about being cousins or something, or he says cousin. That was really disturbing because I don't ever remember that from when I watched it long.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say to that.
I'm thinking that has to be lost.
That has to be another lost in translation along with Seduce. And then we get the final fight with City Hunter and with General something.
That'll be his name.
The terrorist bad guy. City Hunter versus... oh, man, I was going to make a joke about the guy from Die Hard, but I can't think of his name right now.
Wasn't it
the villain?
Hans?
Hans Gruber.
Hans Gruber.
Yeah. City Hunter versus not Hans Gruber.
Kind of like a weird Die Hard in the sea, you know?
Yeah, Die Hard in the sea. I'm surprised Die Hard hasn't done Die Hard in the sea.
Yeah, that would be
an interesting one.
I'm surprised they really didn't go there.
And then I did point out during the final fight, before he defeats him by the bad guy trying to blow up City Hunter and blowing himself, is Jackie's Michael Jackson fighting is entertaining.
Yes.
He starts doing the moonwalk and then
he does the worm, which is awesome.
Yeah. So that was in it. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this reminds me of a trauma film. Like it's bad, but it's one of those so bad it's good. It's like this movie's entertaining.
It's like SpongeBob.
Huh?
It's like SpongeBob. It's so like it's so dumb, but it's hilarious dumb.
It is really dumb. But if you can get past, like, my dad would hate this movie because it's just really, really stupid. Oh, my dad doesn't. My dad hates like Jim Carrey or any kind of slapstick comedy.
Yeah,
he does not like.
This is wacky.
Yeah, he would decide.
They just call him out on the internet.
Yeah.
Dang.
Well, let me give his first and last. No, just kidding. But no, he's not a fan of the dumb comedies, and this was a dumb comedy. It was not quite the martial arts movie I was thinking of doing, but it was entertaining. I'm glad I watched it.
I had to recommend it literally just for the Street Fighter thing.
Yeah, the Street Fighter. Just seeing Jackie Chan.
Oh man, me too.
Oh my gosh.
Because I said when I recommended it, I said, you'll never look at Jackie Chan the same way after seeing this.
And I don't.
I didn't even notice it was Jackie Chan. I just enjoyed the scene.
Yeah, it's so good.
I don't know.
You didn't realize Chun-Li was Jackie Chan?
I couldn't find Jackie Chan. I didn't recognize him anywhere in the movie.
Anyway, he was the main character. He was City Hunter.
I thought that was someone else. I looked at the summary screen and it didn't. Jackie Chan showed up on the summary screen,
Oh
the
my!
cast, but
So you watched this whole movie not
shows like
realizing this was a Jackie Chan movie?
you told me it was a Jackie Chan movie. I didn't know it was the main character.
I guess he is kind of younger, and I don't think you've really seen him in a lot of stuff, have you?
That sounded like something a boomer would say.
Rush Hour, probably?
No, he said he's not sure he watched Rush Hour. I'm trying to think of...
With him and Owen Wilson, that was really good. The Shanghai Noon.
Shanghai Noon? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've ever shown him Jackie Chan movies.
Yeah.
I have a limited edition.
You have... What was that?
It's like this kind of puzzle car game, Rush Hour. It's not a movie.
It's not the movie Rush Hour.
It's not a movie.
Fair enough. Yeah, but yeah, so entertaining movie. Let me real quickly ask, what was your favorite scene in the movie, son?
My favorite scene in the movie?
I think it's going to be unanimous, but I'll ask anyways.
Yeah, that's a bit of a tough one because the whole movie is just dumb, and I like to call myself a certified dumb person, but I don't even want to say like the arcade scene, because the arcade scene was hilarious, but the whole movie was just dumb after dumb stuff.
Well, Street Fighter scene is my favorite.
Yeah, for sure.
Sandy's favorite. Yeah, Sandy's favorite also is the Street Fighter scene. So, you just can't pick one. It's just the dumbness that you love.
I'd have to say it's either the.
Anybody here? Oh, that's great. What are you two playing at? Quickly, untie this. Quickly untie it. You win. Who's next? Huh?
Time to unclog your little fuse. Oh. You okay?
What exactly happened to me?
Well, you had a fight. Wow, you cleaned his clock. He's still alive, though.
Yeah, that's a pity.
Yeah,
Wait, go back up on the deck.
Right.
The Thunderstrikers have gotten
Okay,
here.
yeah, okay.
All right. Wait.
What?
Where's Carrie?
Carrie? At the casino.
The casino?
Yeah.
I'll head there.
Great, guys. Like you said.
Well,
Either that or the scene where the guy does an Uno reverse seduction, like he beats the crap out of the woman trying to seduce her, and then begins to seduce the guy.
Well, I'm a little concerned that your favorite scene is woman getting the crap beat out of her, and then
the whole movie is
a straight.
The whole movie is women getting beaten the crap out of. But the fact of the matter is, there's a lot of guys getting beaten the crap out of. It's equality. And who doesn't like equality?
It was weird. I don't think I've ever seen a movie that like blatantly shows women getting the crap beat out of them so much as this one. Like I've seen like fighters, I've seen a fighter fight, and that just feels like when a fighter fights another fighter, it doesn't feel like, I don't know, wrong.
Yeah.
It feels like you're on the same level because you're both fighters. But
if you're like this girl trying to like seduce a guy, and you're not a fighter, and you're going straight to one of the main antagonists who are just pumped up with muscles, you should be prepared to get the crap beaten out of you, whether or not you're
okay. Maybe get punched once and knocked down. This dude repeatedly slams her face into his knee over and over. I mean, this is overkill. This is overkill. If it wasn't a woman,
it reminds me of professional wrestling, just beating the crap out of your nemesis female partner or whatever. It's to that extent. Definitely looked at like a wrestling segment.
Just so much abuse. I wanted to cry for this woman. This poor woman, just constant face, knee, face, knee, face, knee.
I feel worse for what happened to the guy after that.
Well, yeah, it's like his shirt gets taken so his nipples are showing, and then his ass chapped.
Basically got the tiger claw martial arts used on him, ripped 4 holes in his clothes.
He just got his clothes damaged. They didn't get far enough for him to really go through the hell that he was about to go through.
Yeah. Didn't they play the screams or whatever as the girls ran away?
Maybe.
He shuts the door. The bad guy who beat the shit out of the girl closes the door seductively, doing the splits. So he puts his leg up behind him to close the door. And basically take over their night, and the girls end up running down the hall, and I think you can hear the guy screaming the whole time.
I'd be screaming too.
Yeah, that was terrifying.
All right, give me 1 second. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
And I should point out, no, I'm not an advocate for beating the frick out of women. Just
that's
fighting.
Good. I'm glad you felt the need to say that.
I do believe, however,
women.
I do, however, believe that if you're not willing to beat a woman, you shouldn't be willing to beat a guy.
I mean, I don't know if that's the way I put that, but
I'm an advocate for no violence, but you have to defend yourself, no matter what the sex.
Well, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
This was.
But I had 9 sisters who beat the hell out of me growing up, so.
There's other things that man could have done than constantly put her knee in her face. I'm just saying.
Really?
He had other options. She wasn't
that was bad.
That was a little.
It was still hilarious.
Is what I'm saying. Anyway,
it was still hilarious.
We're taking a break.
Right.
All right, we're back. All right, so our friend Sandy has to get going. So we're going to go ahead and give our ratings for this movie. And we'll start with Sandy.
All right, so I have like a really high bar for Jackie Chan films, and it's mostly what I rate them on is the kung fu action. And this is a great movie, but in terms of the kung fu versus a lot of his other films, I got to give it a 7.5. It's not a bad film by any means. I would rate it higher based on its own merits, but I got to compare it to other Jackie Chan films. So I'm saying 7.5.
7.5. All right, Xavier, you want to give your rating?
I think it deserves a solid. I think it deserves a solid 8.5. I love Dumb, but man, was it kind of crazy at times, and then some good crazy, not good crazy, but it was dumb, and I liked it. 8.5 across the board.
So I did enjoy this movie, but I think both of you are way too not way too high.
I was going to give it an 8, but I decided to lower it just based off of thinking all the other awesome kung fu that he does in other movies.
I'm going to give it a 6 Hadouken.
What?
6 Hadouken.
A 6?
A 6. I think this is I'm trying to be, realistic. Like, I don't want to give every movie high numbers just because I enjoy it. And I'm basing this on, I'm giving it a 6. If I didn't enjoy it, it would be lower.
Damn.
But because I enjoy it, now you got to look at it like this, though. 5 is the medium. That's like, it's okay. It's not terrible.
Right.
It's not good. It's right in the middle, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So 5 is right in the middle. So I'm giving it a 6. So because I enjoyed it, I'm putting it a little over like an okay movie.
See, when I hear 6, I hear like barely better than
like a 60% a D.
Well, I think like just above average, which I think this was better than that.
Well, I think teachers are stupid. 60%. Come on, give them the D. Man,
and from where I went to school, it was a solid F. Anything below a 70.
Oh yeah,
70. I used to love getting my 61 Ds.
Man, I can't imagine anybody having teachers that they know. The teachers are dumb,
Yeah. A teacher would have given this movie a 2.
Xavier's mom is a teacher.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
I'm being a dick.
I'll tell you what, though, she has a beautiful name.
Yeah, Sandy is a very big fan of your mom's name. But I was just being a dick.
That's terrible.
His mom's a teacher. Anyway, so yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sticking with a 6. Because I enjoyed this movie. It is a fun movie to watch. It's a really dumb movie. It was weird. It took me a while to like settle in to what I was about to watch.
Okay.
So you're gonna keep my 8.5 rating though, because
you can keep what you want, but
like I know like 5 would normally be like an average score, and then medium. But I still want to give it an 8.5. The only reason I'm not giving it like a 10 is because of, I hope, obvious reasons.
Well, I'm looking at this and like, if I was to compare this to like, a Marvel movie that I really like,
I'm trying not to compare it though. Like every movie is good in its own merits.
I'm trying to be critical with these movies, and like, could I say like if I put like I really liked Iron Man, but I might just give that like an 8 or something. And can I say that this is as good as Iron Man?
Well, see, here's what I think. If I was to just look at this as his own thing, I would totally go 8.5 myself because I was thinking 8. But my problem is I keep comparing it. I've got so many good Jackie Chan films where like the action is so much crazier.
Well, that's another thing. Like I like Jackie Chan too. Jackie Chan's one of my favorites when it comes to these martial arts movies. It's like Jackie Chan that I do like Jet Li, but I like Jackie Chan more because Jackie Chan, his movies feel more, until this one, his movies normally feel more realistic, more grounded. Like you can tell he's doing his own stunts. where as much as I like Jet Li, a lot of his uses a lot of CGI and it's more fantastical.
A lot of wire work.
Jet Li feels more like a superhero movie, which I love superhero movies. But if I'm watching a martial arts movie, the thing I like is I like seeing Jackie Chan do these crazy things, and based on what I'm seeing, it looks like he's doing it all. This movie wasn't that. This is not a Jackie Chan movie that
it's definitely not a typical Jackie Chan.
Yeah, film. Like watch one of these days. We got to watch Legend of the Drunken Master. That was a fun movie to watch.
That one was mentioned to me by my mom and stepdad.
Your mom was like, "Got to watch Legend of the Drunken Master." Yeah,
that one is a 10.
He does drunken boxing. Now, if I'm like comparing just Jackie Chan movies. That's like a 10. That's top tier for me.
So high up there.
I love Legend of the Drunken Master. But then, but if I was to just compare just Jackie Chan movies, this would be more like a 3. Like, I have never watched another movie that Jackie Chan has done that is anywhere near as bad as this one. And I like this movie. I had fun with it, but I can't compare any of those movies with this.
Well,
would you put this above any other Jackie Chan movie?
There's a few I'd put it above.
Okay, well then I haven't watched bad Jackie Chan.
I have to rewatch The Foreigner before I make a comment like that. But yeah, there's a few that are duds of his, and it's not even like his fault. A lot of them are from like when he's older. And like, I remember I was so disappointed with the Tuxedo, I believe it was.
I watched that one. I didn't think it was that bad, but maybe I have to rewatch it.
I'll have to rewatch it too, because I saw that when it first came out, and I was really critical because he did use wire work in that one and stuff.
It was more of a Jet Li
It was more of a Jet Li style.
I agree. It was.
And I was frustrated because I'm like, no, that's the whole point of Jackie Chan. It's everything you see. Like when he's jumping from one building to another that's across the street, that's him actually doing it, like in Rumble in the Bronx. And
oh, yeah, I think I've seen that one. That one's good, too.
That's insane.
And here's why I would put this as one of my worst Jackie Chan movies is because it, like those special or those stunts he does, this focused more on the comedy and less on the actual martial arts. Until that final fight, there wasn't like a whole bunch of actual fights.
There really wasn't, and that's part of the problem. He's got some films where it's like almost 50% action, like martial arts. And stuff.
Yeah, there's a skateboard scene which that was just skateboarding, and he breaks through some windows. There's him fighting the two giant dudes.
Realistically, it was mostly just the scene, the final boss fight, basically. The cinema scene where he fought the giants, and then the scene where he did the Street Fighter.
That's it. Yeah. And they weren't really like elaborate fight scenes either.
They weren't.
And a lot of it's comical,
amazing stuff that he does. So that's why it's hard for me.
So for me, the thing I love about watching Jackie Chan movies was not really in this movie. It was just straight up a comedy. And so if I'm going to compare it for the reason I love Jackie Chan movies, it's going to be low. I'm doing a 6 and not lower because it was entertaining. This reminded me of the first time I watched Rocky Horror Picture Show. Like, it's such an insane movie, and once you get past that insanity, it's an entertaining movie to watch. Very quotable movie, Rocky Horror.
I'll say this movie, though, makes me wish there was more live action, like mangas, or I wish there was more movies in this wacky style.
Well, I believe I said this to you. This reminded me of Scott Pilgrim versus the World if they didn't have the budget.
I did mention that.
Yeah, you did.
If they didn't have the budget, this is Scott Pilgrim without the budget.
I haven't watched that in forever.
I want to watch it, and we should watch it for this podcast sometime. As soon as we hit that genre, that will probably be the first thing I choose.
What would the genre? Wouldn't that like be under?
It could be under
arts?
comedy, comic book movies. It's a comic book movie. Just because it's not a normal superhero, it's based off of a comic book, which that would qualify it for a comic book movie.
You also technically have video games as a thing.
I do have video games as a genre. It could be considered a video game movie. I don't know, but I don't think I want to do it for a video game movie because to keep in the spirit, I want the video game movies to be based off of a video game. So when we pick the video game genre, it will be based off a video game property.
Right. That makes
sense. So no Pixels. Pixels has video games properties in it, but it's
Ready Player One.
I really like that movie.
Ready Player One is another one.
Shouldn't we have like a category just for those types of movies that like aren't based on video games, but are like based on video games?
Ready Player One's based on a book.
Yeah,
it's based on a book, so it would be
right.
The movies. Pixels, I would put in the comedy. It's a comedy.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. So. So, son, why don't you give us your cinemantra?
All right. Am I telling this to both of you?
I'm gonna peace out.
He's about to peace out.
Okay, he's about to peace out.
All right. So long, Sandy.
Yeah. See ya.
All right, go ahead with your cinemantra.
He's going. All right. So as we enter into a mysteriously cinemantric kind of realm, we find out that we've been turned into some interesting video game characters. I need you to tell me what the worst video game character you would turn into would be if you had video game physics in mind. And he just disappeared from the screen. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Worst video game?
A worst video game or character if you included like their physics. Like Mario can jump high because of his video game physics. That an example like that.
So is this just saying which character you think would suck the most to be?
In real life, if you took video game physics into account.
Oh. A non-playable character in Grand Theft Auto. Like getting murdered or whatever happens and losing your car.
You're just too dumb to fight back or run away.
Yeah. A NPC in Grand Theft Auto. That would be mine.
I'll give you a 9 for that.
All right. What would you pick?
Well, you're gonna send like an Uno reverse my way?
I just want to hear your answer. I've got.
Oh, okay.
I thought you took my my thing away, but I think I can still work my question in.
Okay. I think, what's it called? The only one I can really think of is like either Link or E.T. Link can't jump, and he's a child.
Yeah, but he uses that ocarina like timely.
Oh yeah, there's that. But those are like artifacts they kind of gotta work to find and whatnot. I like exploring, but I don't like slashing swords with a bunch of things that are trying to kill me. But that's not like that's like Link. Link's got his thing. I'm not a fighter. But from what I remember, like with E.T., doesn't the dude just like fall slowly into a hole and the video game physics of that game is like you're walking around and then suddenly you fall into a hole. I mean,
I don't know if I'd want to be Pac-Man either.
Oh yeah. That sounds like jaw issues right there. Like you just imagining like you're always opening your mouth no matter what. and you're always like, I'm just imagining, like, I want to kiss my wife because I love her, and then suddenly I start devouring her, literally. I should probably make sure I'm not speaking figuratively, eating her, but
okay. All right.
Yeah,
so
there's my answer.
My question for you is going to be, which Street Fighter character would you turn into if you got into a weird, dreamy Street Fighter fight?
So you're asking for preference.
Like I said, I thought you were taking that away, but then yours is a little different. So,
Right.
I'm sticking with the Street Fighter theme.
Yeah, I try to keep it as weird and unique as possible, and kind of chaotic. But this still works. I don't know enough Street Fighter characters, but I do know that I do know that one of them can kind of like turn himself into lightning or something like that.
Oh, that's Blanca.
Blanca, yeah.
That's the one I would have picked. Big hairy dude that shoots lightning. That's me.
Yeah.
Big hairy dude shooting lightning. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're kind of really skinny, so I would think of Dulcim for you.
Oh,
you got fire.
Oh, you mean like who I would like who I'd be and not who I'd prefer?
Oh no, I mean you say however you want it, but that's what I think of.
Okay, when you think of me, you think of like a big skinny dude who
probably stretches
very
his
feminine
mouth
kind of,
and shoots out fire. You got fire.
I'd believe that. I would be a happy fire breathing boy.
Fair enough. Either that or I could be I can't remember his name, but the boxer. There's a
boxer.
Yeah.
Dan?
Tyson. It's like a play on Mike Tyson, but I can't
Bison?
remember his name. Bison. M. Bison. No. M. Bison is the bad guy, the main bad guy. Balrog. I think his name's Balrog, actually.
I've never heard of him.
I'm not sure. I think it's Balrog. He's like a black dude that's a boxer.
I am not a black boxer.
Yeah, his name's Balrog. His name was originally going to be M. Bison, but they thought it was too close to Mike Tyson, and they were worried about getting in trouble. So they changed it to Balrog and named M. Bison a different character that had nothing to do with boxing. Did you have a favorite character in this movie?
Probably the protagonist.
City Hunter?
Yes. Aside from protagonist, I'm guessing if because you tend to do that, I don't know. Is protagonist fine? If not, I'll do the Hisoka guy. The guy with the cards.
Oh yeah, the guy with the cards was cool.
Yeah.
I think him or the one of the spy chicks that were kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want to say the girl that he raises, but she's like real whiny and jealous through the whole thing.
Yeah.
She's also kind of a fighter and a badass. And the Kyoki, I think her name is, the rich girl that he was going to try to bring back to his dad or her dad. Yeah. She was kind of cool in the movie.
Yeah.
Hunter just was hungry the whole time.
Yeah. I swear, man, that for how dirty and thirsty he is, for lack of a better term, I kind of feel sorry for him. He's just hungry through the whole time, and he's like beating the crap out of people as well. But oh man, it does kind of feel in that way like an anime trope, yeah, because Like, everybody's hungry all the time and they're powered by food. This guy is just powered whether he has food or not.
Yeah. So,
eat this dang man some food.
Is there anything else you want to bring up about City Hunter?
Okay, what has not been brought up? Voice acting. Voice acting is... I don't think we've touched base too much on the voice acting. I'm sure we've mentioned at the beginning about the
dubbing is
fact
weird.
that it's dubbed. Yeah, the dubbing is a little weird. It kind of felt like, I don't know if this is just me. I know it was originally spoken like Korean or something. But it felt like, even with the English voice acting, that it felt more like a delayed speech with the lips rather than completely different speech altogether. I don't know if you felt the same, but like I noticed at times like it felt more like a delay on the lip syncing than anything else.
That's pretty common, especially back in the day with dubbed movies. You ever see someone joke about Godzilla? They'll move their mouth and then go Godzilla, because the dubbing is always weird, and it's because part of that is just because in different languages we may say, hamburger, and they may have a longer word for that or a shorter word.
Well, I know that, yeah.
So it's hard to really match it up when just our speech is just different. They may have a whole another phrase for something we say like that.
I'm aware of that. What I'm addressing is the fact that it feels like the lips are in English, just delayed. Like I know it's not, but it felt like it. Also, I thought the mini computers were cool.
Mini computers?
The little mini computers or whatever they were, like they track footprints or whatever.
Oh, the
thought it was funny how you literally
cool gadgets.
Yeah, the artifacts were really neat. The fact that he like stuck it right to the guy's hand felt like one of those scenes from Mr. Bean or just your standard 70s cartoon.
Well,
oh yeah, and I've also got Everyone is Too Horny.
Yeah, Everyone is Too Horny.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to try to see if we have a Rotten Tomatoes for City Hunter.
I hope so.
Let me check. There is. So, let's take our guesses. What do you think the Rotten Tomatoes score for critics is?
I hate to say this. I want to say it's a little low. I'm going to try for 40.
I'm going to go 25.
Ooh, you're going especially
I feel like critics aren't going to like this movie. What about audience score?
I'm going to go a bit higher, say like 65.
I'm going to go 55.
Or 66.
I'm going to give it 55.
55, all right.
So, let's take a look here.
My 40 to your 25.
Well, you're closer on both accounts. Critic score gives this a 50%, which makes it certified rotten. However, audience score gives it a 61%, which does make it certified fresh.
So you said 55, I said 66, and it's 61. I'm 5 away. Okay, yeah, you're 6 away. Never mind.
According to this, the original language was Chinese. I want to find some people what they said about this. Let's see. Asian Movie Pulse Panos says, not much to add here. If you like action comedy, watching Jackie Chan at his peak and beautiful women, you have to look no further. City Hunter has all these elements in abundance. Movie Metropolis, John J. Puccio says, if you like the strip and the anime, you'll probably like the movie as well. Everyone else beware. And Fred Topol from About.com says, bad Jackie Chan movie. It's not his style of fighting. He tries to do an anime adaptation, but there's nothing for him to do.
Sandy.
Huh?
Sounds like Sandy. Okay, yeah, keep going. But yeah, we've got some negativity here.
Yeah. It is a weird movie. I mean, I don't see everyone liking this movie. It's odd.
Right.
I don't know what to say about it. It's a very odd movie.
Yeah, I will admit it definitely made me uncomfortable, and I admired the work, but what?
No, I was laughing because, yeah, fair enough.
And yeah, it did make me a little uncomfortable, but like, and you just, okay, there you go. Keep disappearing.
I don't want to be here.
At your house? You live there.
I'm like freaking Nightcrawler.
Well, you're certainly dark shaded.
I know.
Yes.
I'm Kurt Wagner.
Very mysterious.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else we got to add for City Hunter? I'm ready to be done with this one. This was a weird movie.
Let's see. Don't seduce minors. Marty McFly chasing. Oh yeah, during the skateboard scene, the guy kind of latched onto a pickup truck, kind of like the way Marty McFly did. I mean, it was just cut away, and he suddenly knows where she is, the rich girl. Weirdest rape scene.
What?
I don't know if we glossed over that or not, but like, there was no actual like rape, but the girl, the guy in that one really buff guy, the buff short guy, was trying to, I don't know, assault the jealous girl. And well, he almost succeeded. It was a weird scene because you know that the guy's trying to like assault her, but like she's fighting back, and the fighting back is really weird. But I mean, you do what you got to do to avoid getting raped, in some ways. But yeah,
fair enough. All right, well. So
unfortunately, I wish the guy was a little bit creative like she was, though.
Well, next week we don't have one of our random movies. Next week we start watching Star Wars movies. We will be watching Star Wars Episode 1. We're going to start with Episode 1 and start going through the Star Wars movies. Which this will be interesting because I haven't watched Episode 1 in a long time. It's been a long time since I've seen Star Wars Episode 1. And I've been watching a lot of the Clone Wars movie or TV show. I just finished that whole thing. And Darth Maul is the best part of that show. That Darth Maul is badass in the Clone Wars show. And I'm excited to see his first foray here by watching Episode 1.
I remember seeing Episode 3 for the first time. I thought it was amazing, and that's
3 is one of my favorites, actually. Yeah, I love 3. So we'll see.
I think what I think will be most interesting, though, is watching Episode 4. I have never watched it from beginning to end. I tried watching it once.
You've never seen A New Hope?
I've seen A New Hope once. Like, once I tried watching over a friend's house, but then I had to leave. I tried watching over at your house, but I fell asleep towards the end and never got back to it since. And that had to have been at least 5 years ago.
Well, this should be a fun movie thing to watch. All right, so do you have anything you want to plug?
Anything I want to plug?
Yeah, and say goodbye.
Well, peace. I do have a cat over there, but I'd love to show him to the audience. But he's a little Oreo cookie, and I don't want to move him while he's currently licking his butthole. Okay.
Fair enough. Okay. So you can find me on Dragon Blazer Productions at Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And you can also find me on Twitter at Dragon Blazer Pro. Check us out next week when we review the episode 1 of Star Wars. Auf Wiedersehen.
Ni hao. Wait, no, that's hello. Shoot. Just stop
saying
the
hi.
video.
Say bye. Say bye. Auf Wiedersehen. Bye.
Bye.
孤單卡拉 OK 晚晚去唱歌，深宵的晚空，星月在搖動，燒感去活動。有冇搞錯啊？你唱埋啲咁老土嘅歌？間啦 happy 像 Nike 亂壓咗，大搭摩登飛仔飛雷個個去晒 rap， 麥爾麥夠英 ，M 啊直頭勁，要 kiss 冇動靜。4蚊一鋪街機亂咁打黏咗，驚個將軍手都射錯咗。今晚3點尖東海邊金跌出嚟，我最怕佢有錯。做乜好？做得好，做得到。做差佬。劉大明就跑翻啦！救命啊！
咁阿 Sir 請食飯，隨便坐。
間啦 happy 有煙仔沒有火，日日聽歌幾隻冇變化嘅歌，天空光唱歌 ，fans 熱情過，鼓掌向下墮。間啦 happy 我打力零舍多，住在山腰身家多過拍戲嘅發哥，拋起7個吉，3件用嚟窒。孖公仔最穩陣，7間金鋪1粒差佬，日日係咁報，勁亂拉細又着草，衰佬死佬差佬基佬做係咁做，世界是太美好，做乜好？做得好。做得到，係6-4，做差佬，葉玉卿有落威玩啊！間啦 happy 埋下年份阿婆，直播孤單卡拉 OK 晚晚去唱歌，深宵的晚空，星月在搖動，春宵愛做夢。
Hey everyone, I'm Steven from many different podcasts like Drunk Like Me, Pro Wrestling Apologist, The Rage and Blaze Show, and of course, That Got Dark. So, please like and subscribe